The glow drain, why you lost your spark and they gained theirs. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Narcissistic Abuse Dynamics series. Today's episode is one that survivors feel in their bones long before they ever have words for it. It's that nagging sense that somehow, the longer you were around the narcissist, the dimmer you became and the brighter they appeared. That you lost your glow, your fire, your health, your confidence, and somehow, they started shining with everything you once had. This is what I call the glow drain. And no, it's not your imagination, it's not weakness, and it's not a coincidence. It's an energetic transaction, one you never consented to, but paid for anyway. Let's break it down. Why narcissists become more vibrant around you and you become depleted. One of the most disorienting aspects of narcissistic abuse is the way your light fades as theirs grows stronger. You begin the relationship as the radiant one, joyful, creative, hopeful, open-hearted. But as the dynamic unfolds, you start to dim. Your energy thins. Your joy turns to anxiety. Your body begins to ache. You don't laugh the same. You lose your focus. You forget who you were. Meanwhile, they become bolder, more magnetic. Their posture shifts. They talk more confidently. Their social media starts to glow. They walk through rooms as if they own them. It almost looks like being with you upgraded them while you, the one who gave everything, ended up sick, exhausted, or spiritually hollowed. That's not metaphor. That's energetic parasitism. Energetic parasitism. Health, beauty, finances, focus. Energetic parasitism is the act of unconsciously or consciously extracting energy, emotion, or life force from another person for personal gain. And narcissists, whether they know the term or not, are masters at it. Here's how it plays out. Health. You begin to experience chronic fatigue, hormonal imbalance, gut issues, headaches, or inflammation. These aren't random. Your body is reflecting the stress of constant emotional vigilance. Meanwhile, the narcissist who once looked tired or disoriented seems to be thriving. That's your life force powering them. Beauty. Your glow fades, your hair may thin, your skin breaks out, you stop dressing the way you used to. You're too exhausted to care for yourself. You become invisible. They, on the other hand, start to radiate confidence. They dress better, speak louder, stand taller. You gave them your shine. Finances. You lose money, job focus, or career momentum. They gain influence, resources, or confidence. Maybe they borrow from you. Maybe they sabotage your business or mental bandwidth. Maybe you miss opportunities because your energy is stuck trying to survive. Meanwhile, they take what they learned from you and apply it elsewhere. You gave them your vision. Focus. Your clarity dissolves, your creativity stops, you can't finish projects, your mental bandwidth is hijacked by emotional triage. They, however, get inspired. They use your ideas. They mimic your rhythm. They make moves with the very essence they extracted from you. You gave them your blueprint. And this is why the abuse feels deeper than heartbreak. It's not just emotional betrayal, it's identity theft on a spiritual level. You didn't just lose love, you lost yourself. You were their muse, their mirror, and their energy source. Narcissists are empty inside. Not in a casual way, but in a profound, metaphysical sense. They lack sustainable self-regulation. They don't have stable identity structures. Their sense of self depends on external validation and emotional absorption. That means they don't just enjoy your presence, they require it to exist as the version of themselves they want to be. You weren't just a partner, child, or friend. You were their mirror. Everything they admired in you, they didn't actually believe they possessed. So they latched on. But not with gratitude, with hunger. You became their muse. Your creativity, confidence, kindness, and light gave them ideas, status, charm, and social leverage. You made them appear deep, stable, or evolved. Mirror. They used you to project a version of themselves they couldn't sustain on their own. They parroted your beliefs, used your spiritual language, mimicked your style. They stood next to your glow so others would reflect it back onto them. Energy source. Your attention fed them. Your reactions energized them. Your crisis mode became their playground. Your spiritual gifts became their survival strategy. This was not love. This was energetic consumption. The spiritual mechanics of transfer and loss. Now let's take this deeper. This is not just psychological, it's spiritual physics. In every relationship, energy flows. But in a relationship with a narcissist, energy is not exchanged. It is drained in one direction. This happens through emotional provocation. They intentionally trigger you to elicit energy responses. Rage, grief, confusion. These are energetically powerful. Your explosions become their harvest. Sexual connection. During intimacy, they pull life force from your sacral and heart centers. You often feel euphoric during and depleted after. That's not chemistry, that's siphoning. Admiration rituals. They fish for praise, ask for input, or tell vulnerable stories not to connect but to keep you emotionally open and offering. Spiritual confusion. They use spiritual phrases, twin flame talk, divine timing rhetoric, or karma-based manipulation to bind your soul through guilt or destiny codes. All of this creates a feedback loop where you become the giver of energy, identity, and validation, while they become the taker. And eventually, the giver collapses. You don't just feel tired, you feel faded. You try to write, but the words don't come. You try to laugh, but it doesn't land. You try to pray, but it feels static. That's not just exhaustion, that's spiritual fragmentation. And that fragmentation didn't happen on accident. It was the cost of keeping them alive while they starved you of your own reflection. Why it feels unfair and what it actually means. When survivors finally escape, they often go through a phase of spiritual grief. They say, I gave them everything. Why do they look better now? Why are they thriving while I'm crawling out of a pit? Here's the truth. They're running on borrowed light. It will not last. What they took was never integrated. It was consumed. And just like any parasite, once the host is gone, they need to find another. Your suffering is not because you were weak. It's because you were powerful. You were magnetic. You were creative. You were connected to source. And they knew it. Narcissists don't target the broken. They target the bright. So if you feel like you've lost everything, your health, your glow, your voice, your finances, it's not because you were empty. It's because you were full and you were targeted for it. How to reclaim. What was stolen recovery is not just about cutting contact, it's about spiritual reentry. Here's how to begin reclaiming what was lost. Energetic severance. Declare aloud or in writing that your energy is no longer available to that person. Do it through prayer, ritual, cord cutting, or journaling, but make it real. Remove photos, block access, burn contracts, cleanse your space. Somatic repair. Your body is holding the trauma of depletion. Use breathwork, grounding, stretching, salt baths, movement, and sunlight to reopen flow in the body. Your nervous system must relearn safety in stillness. Creative rebirth. Even if your voice shakes, begin to create again. Sing, write, draw, speak. Your creativity is how your spirit reclaims terrain. Spiritual realignment, reconnect to your source. Not to make sense of the abuse, but to remind your soul it was never broken. You were misused. Now you are re-choosing what gets access. Aura restoration. Imagine your light literally. See it pouring back into your body. Do meditations that call your energy home. Use visualizations of gold, violet, or white light to reseal the aura that was penetrated. And most of all, do not rush. Your glow will return not when you fight to get it back, but when you stop offering it to people who only know how to steal it. Final words. You were never weak for fading. You were bright enough to be noticed. That was the threat. Your glow was not lost, it was hijacked. And the moment you sever the pattern, it begins to return. The narcissist didn't leave with your light. They left with your energy, but they don't know how to generate their own. You do. So as they run from mirror to mirror, still chasing what they can't sustain, you are rebuilding, regenerating, remembering. And one day, you'll wake up and notice the laughter came back. The focus came back. The clarity came back. The beauty came back. The abundance came back. The glow came back. Because it was never theirs. It was always yours. And now you know how to protect it. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and what you just watched is part of my signature program, the Chosen One series inside School of Soul. This series is not just a course, it's a blueprint for those who know they were different from the start. The black sheep, the scapegoat, the truth teller, the cycle breaker. Inside, you'll discover the family roles playbook, the golden child, the scapegoat, the enabler, the lost child, and how to finally step out of the part you were cast in without consent. How the black sheep becomes the goat, turning rejection into radical transformation and leadership. How to break generational curses and rewrite ancestral contracts so the pain stops with you. And how to recognize and escape modern forms of spiritual and technological targeting, from gang stalking to synthetic synchronicity. This isn't just about survival. It's about awakening, about reclaiming your voice, your lineage, and your destiny as one of the chosen ones. Click the link below to access the full series now, because the role ends the moment you decide it does, and the real script begins with you.